Let's face it, running IT at an SMB can feel like being the unofficial firefighter, therapist, locksmith, and digital janitor all at once. You're putting out access control fires before lunch, untangling mystery folder permissions by mid-afternoon, and explaining again why just giving everyone full access is not a governance strategy. Meanwhile, AI is rolling into the workplace like a hyper-helpful intern who means well, but will absolutely hand out the wrong file if your environment is messy enough. That's why guardrails matter, because AI isn't chaotic, your tenant is. Imagine this scenario. You're sipping your coffee, pretending the morning won't explode, and Copilot cheerfully summarizes a document a user requested, and your stomach drops, because that user should never have had access to that file in the first place. Not Copilot's fault. It only sees what you allow it to see. AI is like an extremely enthusiastic assistant with zero context and perfect obedience. It follows permissions like gospel, even the accidental ones from a 2017 temporary shortcut no one cleaned up. This is where modern guardrails shine. Here's the guardrail reality check for SMBs. You don't need some giant enterprise governance framework. You need everyday, practical controls that actually prevent headaches, the kind that don't require 6 committees and a PhD in purview configuration. Think of guardrails like bumpers at a bowling alley. They don't make you a pro, but they keep you out of the gutter. A good set of AI guardrails does the same. It keeps overshared folders from becoming the plot twist in your next incident report. It quietly flags, why does this intern have access to legal moments before they hit Copilot? And it makes sure sensitive info doesn't wander into someone's daily summary like an uninvited guest. Here's the best part. Guardrails aren't here to crank up the friction. They're here to reduce your future therapy bills. When they're done right, permissions get cleaner over time instead of messier. Sensitive content stays where it's supposed to. Copilot becomes more useful because it isn't wading through chaos to find what's relevant. And your IT team stops living in constant, please don't let Copilot show that file mode. Governance stops being a chore and turns into something that quietly makes everyone's life easier. Let's talk about the SMB-friendly playbook. Start with the basics. Seriously, you don't need a Galaxy Brain ML pipeline to keep Copilot safe. You need the digital equivalent of locking the front door and labeling your drawers. Here's the simple version. 1. Fix the obvious oversharing, those everyone except external sites you're scared to open. 2. Use 3 or 4 labeling rules, not 15. Complexity is a great way to make people ignore everything. 3. Restrict Copilot's reach while you clean up, like setting the baby gate before teaching the dog not to steal food. 4. Pilot AI with the responsible adults first, not the guy who still prints every email. 5. Add one AI-specific scenario to your incident plan, so you're not improvising during an oh no moment. This isn't over-engineering, it's housekeeping. Here's the real magic. Once guardrails are in place, Copilot becomes dramatically more valuable. Not because it gets smarter, but because the environment finally makes sense. Suddenly, people aren't seeing files they shouldn't. AI-generated insights actually reflect the right data, and you trust automation instead of flinching every time someone asks Copilot a question. That's the quiet superpower of good governance. It makes AI behave like the helpful assistant you wanted in the first place, not the oversharing gossip you were afraid of. Why does this matter right now? AI used to be an optional upgrade, a someday project. Now, it's the middle lane of workplace productivity, and everyone's merging into it, whether IT is ready or not. Guardrails aren't the brakes. They're the steering wheel. They let SMB IT adopt AI confidently without crossing fingers or hoping nothing embarrassing pops up. And honestly, most teams realize pretty quickly that guardrails aren't extra work. They're the long overdue clean up the environment needed anyway. So if you want to actually enjoy the AI upgrades instead of panic scrolling audit logs, start with good guardrails. Think simple, think practical, think clean up the digital junk drawer before you invite AI over. Because AI isn't here to replace your team, but it will absolutely amplify whatever's already happening in your tenant. Make sure what it amplifies is the good stuff. Thanks for tuning in. Want more? Hit follow and check out the links below for deeper guidance and real-world examples. See you next time.